Most entrepreneurs like to break rules, but today I'm going to share with you 20 rules for entrepreneurship. By the way, stick around till the very end. I'm not going to give you the 20th rule, but I'm going to give you a PDF that has the 20th rule in it. So let's get right into it. Number one rule, don't let depressions and recessions scare you. That is automatic. Some of the biggest entrepreneurs ever started at the worst time. I started my own insurance company in 2009, which right after 2008, AIG is about to go out of business. Everyone's scared. No one's giving contracts. Insurance companies are worried about maybe they're going to go out of business. Bear Stearns went out of business. It was such a terrible time to start a business, but we did not let that scare us. We let it inspire us because every single paper I was reading at that time was telling us the end of the world is coming. But typically, the biggest entrepreneurs get started during depressions and recessions, so do not let it scare you. Number two, only 1% of PR firms earn every penny that you pay them. And here's what I mean by it. Every PR firm is going to tell you, we're going to share with you how to become viral. We're going to share with you how to get out there and gain customers. And for only $10,000 a month and a 6-month contract of $60,000 commitment, we're going to help you XYZ money. And then you do that, and the first month, nothing happens. Second month, they get you one article that's a newswire, whatever. And then third month, maybe they get you on a podcast. And then fourth month, like, and it's like, well, it's because, we're trying to get it, but I think we need to re-strategize. And the whole point is they haven't done a lot. They haven't earned that money. That $30,000 that you paid them for 3 months, it's been profit. So instead of trying to hire PR firms that act like they can solve every problem for you, be the PR firm. Today, you need to learn how to be the PR firm with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. There's so many different ways to do it. Start your own podcast, start your own blog, start your own vlog. There's so many ways to do it. So rather than hiring a PR firm, you be the PR firm. Number three, distribution is everything. Either find distribution or create distribution. But whatever you're doing, if you have a great product and you don't have distribution, nobody cares. You have to have a great product, but you need to have a distribution. Without a strong distribution channel, there are many great products that are never found. You got to figure out a way whether you're going to create that distribution for yourself or you're going to leverage somebody else's. Number four, this whole thing about don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry about it. Life is so good. Don't sweat the small stuff. You cannot do that as an entrepreneur. Maybe an artist can do that. Maybe a person in a completely different world can do that as a business person. If you don't sweat the small stuff, you know what the finances? Who cares? I don't need to see the statement. It's totally fine. Oh, really? Oh, really? You're about to not make payroll to all your employees, and then they're going to come back and say, hey, my check bounced. And 7 of your employees come to you and tell you, my $680 check bounced. How? I don't know. And they said, well, I was telling you we got it. Oh my gosh. Well, you weren't sweating the small stuff. Sweat everything. Sweat everything when you first get started. Number 5, constantly stay in creation mode. What got you excited about starting a business is you were wanting to create something better. A better way of doing something, a better way of serving the client, a better way of, going out there and delivering the product, right? And then that got you to survive the first year, 2 years. But then sometimes the entrepreneur goes away from creation mode and they become too logical and boring, and then nothing keeps recreating. There's no new things that are being created. Constantly stay in creation mode. What if we do this and what if we do that? Hey, grab a pen and marker. Hey, come on guys, let's get in a room, 3, 4 of us. Hey, what if we did this part? What do you think about this? What do you think about, how about if we did this? Constantly creation mode, creation mode, creation mode. Because when you're staying in that, you're looking at new ways of doing things better, right? Number 6, manage anxiety. You're gonna have a lot of anxiety. It's just gonna happen. It's part of the game because you're worried about you're gonna run out of money. You're worried about your personal life, your marriage, your relationship, your friendship, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, missing birthday parties, missing anniversaries, missing weddings. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm letting everybody down. What the hell is going on? Is this what I really signed up for? Try to figure out a formula on anxiety. One of the basic things that I always tell people, I had to learn this thing years ago. I made a video about anxiety, I think 6 years ago when I was going through anxiety attacks myself, is the following. This is a basic formula. Anytime you get depressed, you're spending too much time thinking about the past. Anytime you get too anxious, you're spending way too much time thinking about the future. Anytime you're peaceful, you're here. So as an entrepreneur, we're typically living here, right? One day. That's fine because you're casting a vision where we're going. But it's not like, well, what if this doesn't work out? There's a big difference between vision and anxiety, because vision is like, one day we're going to be the biggest, one day we're going to be da-da-da, versus, oh my gosh, what if this thing doesn't happen next week? What if that thing doesn't happen? What if this, what if, anxiety. So have that pendulum in your head. Why am I getting depressed? I'm spending too much time thinking about a decision I made 6 months ago. That was a wrong one. Get over it. Learn from it. Let's move on. Oh my gosh, I can't even breathe. Can't control that. Stay right here, okay? Next, number 7, focus on vision when you want to quit. There's going to be times you don't feel like doing this thing anymore. It just doesn't make any sense to you. Say, why did I get started in the first place? What's the vision? Resell it to yourself over and over and over again, because you will need it, and there will be times when you want to quit. Number 8, listen to your critics. Here's what I mean by listen to your critics. Some people say, don't listen to your critics. They're haters, they're this, they're that. You have no idea how much I would want to hear what the critics were saying. Let me explain to you why. Because critics, they don't know how to do this. And let me explain. They know like what you're doing wrong that you haven't learned yet. Because somebody who's ahead of you, they have experience. And they probably shouldn't tell you your weakness. Because if they tell you and improve that, now you can compete against them, right? So critics don't know how to do that. They emotionally are so much about making sure everybody knows that they're bigger than you that they forget to do that. So say, oh yeah, that company worked. Well, let me tell you what that company does. And they'll tweet it, and they'll Facebook it, or they'll comment, or they'll say something. You're like, you know what? He's right. We do need somebody in this area. Thank you for the feedback, hater. Appreciate you. And I didn't even need to pay you a consulting fee. You're fantastic. I'll send you a thank you letter 10 years from now. You're the best, right? So think about it from that mindset. I cannot believe he said this to me. Relax. He may be making you a lot of money by giving you that criticism. Number 9, find your blue ocean. Figure out a way to do something that's different than everybody else's. And if you've never read the book Blue Ocean Strategy, the whole idea is do something that's differentiates yourself from the entire marketplace. Don't be like a Me Too company. Figure out a way to be different than all your peers. If you haven't read Blue Ocean, it's probably my top 3 business books I recommend to every entrepreneur. I highly recommend you go buy that book. I don't make money off of it. I didn't write it. A guy named W.C. Chen wrote it. If you've never read it, we'll put the link below. Number 10, win the right people over. Sometimes people are gonna be like, well, I don't care if I've done, I don't care what people are thinking. I don't care this, that. It may be good posts for Instagram. It may be good posts for Facebook or Twitter, but it ain't good for business. You do need to win the right people over. Like for me, I had to win the right people over. When I first started the insurance company and I went to a state and I met with the CEO and I got the contract, 2 months later I lose that contract, I couldn't have said, the hell with this guy. I'm never gonna do business with this guy. No. I sat there and I said, okay, I gotta figure out a way to win this guy over. You know how long it took me to win that guy over? 5 years. But I had to win him over because I wanted that product. I wanted that business. So you have to be sitting there saying, who is it that I want to win over? Then put a strategy to go out and win this person over. Maybe it's through execution, results. Maybe it's through winning over the 5 people that they respect the most, and they go and tell that person, did you know what this guy's doing? But you got to figure out a way to win the right people over. So make a list of the right people and put a strategy to go win those people over. Number 11, celebrate fast. You know, a lot of people celebrate way too long. When you're small, you don't have time to celebrate for a weekend getaway. No. Oh my gosh, we just got our 200 customer. This is sick. It's so awesome. Boom. Awesome. Da-da-da-da-da. Next. Write it in. Oh my gosh, we just got our 200 customer. Babe, let's go to Vegas for a week. Okay, now you're about to go out of business. So don't celebrate too long. Figure out a way to celebrate fast. Number 12. Your word matters more when you're small. When I was small and nobody respected me because I was just getting started, if I told you I'm going to be there at 3, I'm there at 2:45, okay? If I told you I'm going to pay back on the 25th, I paid you back on the 20th. If I told you I'm going to send an email with the 9 points, I'm going to send that email to you with 9 points. Your word matters. Your word's going to matter forever, but your word matters a million times more when you're small. A million times more. Anything you ask, anything people ask of you, do it. Because So eventually the reputation got out there and says, hey, who's this Patrick Bet-David guy? Oh, if he says he's going to do this, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Oh, really? He's going to do it. He said this? Oh, did he ask those 2 questions for me at the end where he says, so when can I expect to get back on this? And if I do this, and when can we expect to get this? Yes, he asked it from everybody. Oh, okay, great. So yeah, that's kind of how he is, but he's going to deliver. I wanted that reputation when I was small. So it's going to matter to you a lot. Number 13. Sometimes entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs because they don't want to ask anybody for help. But there's no way in the world you're going to do anything big without being able to ask people for help. If this is a vice of yours, get used to asking people for help. If you don't, you will be out of business in no time because you need a lot of help to run a business. Next, number 14, be aggressively patient. Be aggressive. You're playing offense. You're doing all that other stuff. But at the same time, you're patient. Some stuff is just going to take a long time, right? My dad would always say, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much you can lift, no matter how many books you read, no matter what you do, 40 weeks is baby. God tells you it's 40 weeks. Do whatever you want to do. You can have all the money in the world, 40 weeks. Some things require patience. Some things you can't force for it to come quickly, right? You got to wait for that. Certain things, you do your part, you work your tail off, you do your thing, but at the same time, be patient about it. Not just patient, but aggressively patient. Number 15, it's okay to be lucky. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I don't like it when he told me you're lucky. You know, lucky is when preparation meets, that's what luck is. I didn't get lucky. I worked. Listen, call me lucky. I could care less. You can call me lucky all you want. You're right. I don't, because I welcome getting lucky. My son says the other day, because we had a conversation about it, he says, what's your middle name? James. What's Tico's middle name? Gabriel. What's Senna's middle name? Rose. What's Brooklyn's middle name? Ivy. What's Daddy's middle name? The other kids say, Daddy doesn't have a middle name. Dylan says, yes, he does. He told me. If they let him make a middle name, his middle name's going to be Lucky. I said, yes, because your daddy's so lucky. I don't mind being lucky, okay? So welcome luck. Like, don't have the pride to not welcome luck, because luck wants to be attracted to a person that's okay getting lucky. I don't mind getting lucky, okay? It's okay when you're getting lucky as well. Don't complain about it. Number 16, join a local advisory group, like whatever you can find. We do our own thing that we have our masterminds. I have a general mastermind, I have an elite mastermind, and there's certain qualifications to be a part of it. I run quite a few per month with CEOs around the world. If you want to apply for it, we'll put the link below. But I recommend go find one of them. Go to Vistage, go to YPO, go to EO. Whatever you can find that there is a local advisory group, go find it. They are so effective. They're so proven because you're learning about challenges other people are also going through where you're not alone. Many times you'll come in and share your problem and you may get the answer to the problem you had, but the other 6 people shared their problems and you needed to learn from their problems more than the problem that you actually had. I don't know if this makes sense. So there's an element to being part of the right advisory group. Number 17, keep networking, keep shaking hands. I know it's COVID time, so they say don't shake hands. I always ask the question when I put my hand out there. John, do you shake hands? I do. Here we go. Do you do this? You tell me, I'm good either way. But constantly be shaking hands, constantly be sitting there networking, meeting with people, talking to them. What about this? What about that? What about this? Constantly be doing that because you never know what that one relationship's going to lead you to, a technology, partnership, investment. So keep networking. And by the way, I have a video I did on networking. Remind me, Kai, at the end that I'm going to put that as one of them. Number 18, don't worry about being embarrassed by the MVP. Too often we want the perfect product. Do you know what our first website had? Let me tell you what our first website had. Our first website, I had this idea because I was playing so much Sudoku. I don't know if you know the game Sudoku. Our first website had an insurance company's website, had daily horoscope on there. Who the hell in the insurance industry would think about putting a daily horoscope? This guy did because he thought it was a great idea. Think about that idea right there. I had Sudoku on my site because I said, people are going to come here, they're going to play Sudoku, and then they're going to see the interest on other products that we offer. Maybe they're going to buy a product from us, but they're going to play Sudoku. That was my website. Can you imagine how crazy that is, right? Actually think about that. So, and people are like, what is this guy thinking about? They were making fun of it. I don't care. You have to be a bit shameless. Do not worry about being embarrassed about your first MVP, your first product that you have. Do not try to be the perfect product right off the bat. Just be okay the fact that you're launching, because by the feedback you get from people, you're going to get better at it. Number 19, constantly read biographies. And let me tell you what I mean by biographies. Go read Teddy Roosevelt's biography. Go read Jobs' biography. Go read other people that were building a business, that did something and they won. The other day I watched a Schumacher documentary, watch a Senna documentary, watch documentaries of people that went through a lot of hardship and they won. Here's why. Because what happens is you're sitting and you're going through hardship and you feel sorry for yourself. And you read a hardship about Teddy Roosevelt that lost his kid or lost his wife and you're like, what are you bitching about? Would you exchange your problem of working this many hours versus this guy? Yeah, I'm sorry, Teddy. You keep your problems. I'm good. Stop whining and get back to work, right? So reading the right biographies or watching the right documentaries can actually give you more hope and more confidence to go out there and do your work. So I highly recommend reading the right biographies. If you want to get a list on it, maybe send me a tweet at Patrick Bet David. I may give you a few biographies for you to consider reading. So having said that, 20th rule, if you want to text the word business to 310-340-1132. One more time, text the word business to 310-340-1132, or if you're international, click on the link below. Subscribe to our newsletter, and we'll send them PDF with point number 20 on it. I got 2 other videos I want you to watch. One of them is 10 things to do before you become an entrepreneur. Some of you guys may be employees. You're thinking about it. Maybe I want to do it. Maybe I don't want to do it. 10 things to do before you become an entrepreneur. And the other one is 14 tips on networking. How Casanova, I did some network like Casanova. If you've never watched it, I explain how I network. So either one of these, click on and watch them. And if you got a lot of value from the video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.